Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good evening to everyone, ladies and gentlemen. From ASEAN country, we have from Malaysia here, and we have also participants from Indonesia, from Vietnam, and New Zealand, and also from Dublin. From Dublin, our speaker from Dublin in Ireland, and welcome to CIB ASEAN webinar series for December 2024 with a theme on digitalization and sustainability in construction and built environment. My name is Dr. Saraju Fikri Muhammad from Universiti Teknologi Malaysia, and I will be the moderator for today's session. And for all participants, thank you very much for spending part of your evening with us today. And some of our participants in the morning, okay, morning and evening, because our speaker morning now in Dublin, and we are in the evening because of the GMT is -8, okay. And let me begin the session by inviting all our panelists to introduce themselves, okay, themselves. First of all, I would like to invite Dr. Syamsul Hendra Mahmud from Universiti Teknologi Malaysia. Assalamualaikum, Dr. Syamsul. Can you introduce yourself,
Salam.
please?
How are you, Dr. Sarajul?
Okay, good, good. I'm good. Okay. You are now in Johor Bahru.
I'm in Johor Bahru now.
Okay, good. Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Syamsul from Universiti Teknologi Malaysia. Our second panelist is Dr. Igwe Uchenna Sampson from Technological University of Dublin, Ireland. Hello.
Hello,
and
everyone.
good day, Dr. Igwe. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah. What time now in Dublin?
Yeah, it's currently past 1. That's 1 p.m. in the afternoon.
Or 1 p.m. Not in the morning. Okay, sorry. Afternoon
Yeah,
now.
not in
Okay,
the morning.
afternoon,
Yeah.
almost
It's
afternoon.
afternoon
Okay.
now.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us today for today's session. And next is our third panelist is Professor Engineer Dr. Dewi Larasati from Institut Teknologi Bandung, Indonesia. Welcome to our session today, Dr. Dewi. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Okay, thank you, Professor Sarajul. My name is Dewi. I am the belong to Building Technology Research Group of ITB. Thank you for inviting me for this webinar.
All right, thank you, Dr. Dewi. All right, without further ado, we will bring to you a highly experienced researcher in construction project management in Malaysia, also from Ireland and also from Indonesia. And for the first panelist, our panelist is Dr. Syamsul Hendra Mahmud. Okay, before we proceed further, I would like to briefly introduce our first speaker or first panelist today. And Dr. Syamsul Hendra presentation is entitled The Digital Leadership Framework for Malaysian Construction Industry. Before that, I would like to briefly introduce the biography of Dr. Syamsul Hendra. Dr. Syamsul Hendra is a senior lecturer at the Department of Quantity Surveying, Faculty of Built Environment and Surveying, Universiti Teknologi Malaysia. He taught quantity surveying, construction courses, which include construction technology and management. He has over 15 years of experience in academic teaching and research, and now conducting research on maintenance of the facilities in Malaysian geopark and digitalization in construction organization. In 2024, he was elected as the committee member of the Malaysian Green Building Council Southern Chapter, recognizing his dedication to sustainable development. Without further ado, I would like to invite Dr. Syamsul Hendra as our first panelist to discuss a part of their research work in what we call digital leadership framework for Malaysian construction in organization. Okay, welcome, Dr. Syamsul Hendra. I pass the floor to you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sarajul, for the brief introduction of myself. Right. First of all, I would like to thank CIB for giving me the opportunity to share our research done by me and my students, Muhammad Shafiq Johari. All right. Focusing on digitalization on the Malaysian construction industry. So today, I will share some of the preliminary findings, all right, on digital leadership, and I hope that it can benefit to everybody. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
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 Okay.
Okay, all right. Let me put it into the full screen. All right. So for a start, 90% of the CEOs believe that the digital economy will impact their industry, no matter whether you are in the manufacturing industry, you are in the construction industry, whether you are in the shipping industry or in the hospitality, right? 90% of their CEOs believe that the digital economy will impact their industry. But out of that 90% of the CEOs, only 15% of them are executing on the digital strategy for their organization. All right, by MIT Sloan and Gapigini. So this is actually the first and basic problems that we are having now in our industry, whereby we are talking about digitalization, we are talking about moving forward towards artificial intelligence, but towards the end, our CEOs and the top management, not many of them are executing on the digital strategy. Right. So therefore, what we are looking now on our research is to propose a digital leadership framework as the organization innovation for Malaysian construction industry, whereby we are focusing on how to equip our future leaders with digital knowledge and digital skills. All right. So this research conducted by me and our students, Muhammad Shafiq Johari. All right. Some of the background of the study, all right, digital capabilities has been the focal point of attention and recognition across the globalization, right? Current trends of the industrial revolution 4.0 and now moving to IR 5.0 and the rise of the visual digital-based sector can be regarded as the evidence of disruptive technology growing interest at different stages in many industries. Means that IR 4.0, IR 5.0, or all the digital focus now not only with a certain digital, with a certain industry, but it's go beyond other also industry. So in construction industry in particular, leaders play a critical role in understanding, adopting, and implementing a digital technologies in the organization as the is to complement job function and improve performance of the management or the production due to dominoes effect. All right, whereby we have the interdependent with the construction life cycle. All right. So according to Fernandez and Alaloy also in 2020 and 2021, okay, more government are focusing on raising the awareness, all right, of the role on digitalization innovation from whether in small, medium enterprise to the multinational firm, particularly in the construction industry. And we can see, especially in Malaysia, the growing trends of digitalization in our construction industry. And we are also getting the participation and strong support from the government. Thereby, a proactive and forward-thinking on the digital leaders can provide a mutual strategy and potential organization innovation in their management with a digital competency standards. All right. So, as the conclusion, what we are trying to look at now is actually to find a ways or to develop a framework whereby we are helping the top management of the organization to look into the benefit of the digitalization and try to find and set the strategy to enhance their digital capabilities. So this is the Malaysian focus, right? Malaysian National Digital Economic Policies. All right. So in Malaysia, the Malaysia IR 4.0 policy started in early 2018. All right, with the Malaysian IR 4.0 policy, which aim to ensure the coherent readiness all right, on the industry, not only in construction industry, but across the other industry by providing a national 4IR policy framework. All right, and it continues to 2019, whereby the development of the comprehensive and well-organized digital entrepreneurial programs. Okay, the government generate the autonomous technologies such as modular construction, all right, by our CIDB, and then more research are also putting into practice, all right, to identify the best practice and the policy development. All right, so in the year 2020, all right, the government developed the national digital network for the 12th Malaysia plan called Jendela, and this offers the opportunity for the Malaysian entrepreneurial and the service-based industry on excellence broadband service to cover their activities. All right, it's also the transition from the 4G to the 5G technology, and the trend of digitalization continues in 2021 by the adoption of digitalization in the construction project life cycle, all right, whereby they expand the training of the people, okay, and they try to develop the digital skills among their workers, all right, and at the same time, we are looking also a smart cities target, all right. This one is under Malaysia Digital Economy Blueprint, and from 2021 to 2025, and the recent one in Malaysia, whereby we are actually opening and focusing on the artificial intelligence, okay, by our Prime Minister, Mr. Anwar Ibrahim, which focusing on the artificial intelligence, right? So that is also some part of the support element from the government to the industry. So we can see now in Malaysia, we are moving forward from manufacturing industry, construction, traditional industry towards a digital industry. All right. But in reality, most construction stakeholders still have a low self-awareness and engagement, especially on digitalization. That one is under a study by the Construction Industry Competency Standard, BICIDB, whereby under the 17 management criteria that is measured for the construction services, not one of them are actually putting a specific area on digitalization. All right, so this is the lacking point of the industry. So therefore, now we are moving forward, right? Starting on the year 2020, 21, right? So we are moving forward and putting all the digital technology, the digital capabilities into one of these 17 management criteria. So this is the need of a study on how we can equip our construction personnel towards the digital technology and digital knowledge. Right. Some of the practical problem also rely on the culture on the organization itself, right? Whereby in Malaysia we are still rely on direct hierarchical power and structured process. All right. So we are not moving forward towards the digital resilience, which is actually the power that we need to enforce. All right. We are also still on the mutual technology, digital skill. We have a very limited access on expertise and a low demanding in digital technology, right, in our industry. And also we have the what we call it as a leader, they are not actually equipped with all the current technologies on digital. So therefore, it is a need of for the researcher to help the industry to focus on how we can equip and enhance the capabilities of our leaders, right? Especially the top management of the industry, the project managers on the digitalization. Okay, some of the research questions that arise from all those issues. First is on the current level. We wanted to know what are the current level of digital technology practice adoption in Malaysian construction organization. Right, we want to see what are the key issues in digitalization in Malaysian construction organization. We also wanted to discuss and to identify what are the critical success factors for the adoption of digital leaders for Malaysian construction organization, and by the end, we are hoping to develop a framework that can be enhanced to the digital leadership capabilities for Malaysian organization. All right, so these are actually the focus of our study. So the scope of our study is on the Malaysian construction industry, focusing on the developer, consultant, the construction firms, right? And the focus is on the top management, supervisory level, and also the frontliners workers, because everybody need to be involved when we talk about digital knowledge. So some of the previous study on leaders, all right? So this is one of the studies whereby when we talk about leadership in the organization, we can run from talking about the macro level of leaders, which is the digitalization. We are talking about the existing leadership theory, the type of leadership style. All right, so those are actually into the micro level, whereby we are now more focusing on the micro level, whereby we wanted to see how the digital leadership or the digital leaders can be developed to our industry, right? So the previous component of the leaders framework is looking into the macro level, but in our construction industry, we wanted to see what are in the micro level, which is towards the personal leaders in the organization. All right, so these are some of the definitions. So we are looking into the construction managers. We are looking into what are the digital mindset is all about, right? Because if we want to change our leaders to focus on digital, one of the component is digital mindset. They need to have a digital mindset. If they are still focusing on the traditional methods, they are still focusing on the manual ways of doing things, so they can express what are the needs of the organization and what are the needs of the current industry. All right, so besides digital mindset, we need to also focus on the digital technology, right? What are the current digital technology? What are the leadership capability? Because we are talking about leaders of the organization, so we wanted to see what are the variables towards the leadership capability. And also the leaders are working in the organization, so we are also looking into what are the capability of the organization. So these are the area of research that we are looking at. So these are also some of the previous framework, right? So we can see that the framework is more towards the traditional skills of the leaders, right? Not much of these framework focusing on the digital expertise or the digital needs of the organization. All right, so these are some of the digital framework previously done by other researchers. All right, so first we would like to see what are the current adoption of digital technology practice, especially in Malaysian construction organization. So this is a cross organization study, whereby we can separate or we can divide into several sections, all right, based on the construction stage, design phase, feasibility phase, construction phase, decommissioning phase, and maintenance phase. And we also group the element of digital technology into digital data, automation, connectivity, and digital access. So these are actually the current adoption of digital technology in Malaysia, whereby we can see we are focusing more now on building information modeling. We are focusing on AR and VR in the construction organization. We are focusing on the big data. We are focusing on the cloud computing, automation, drones, and robotic technology. So those are actually the focus in Malaysian construction organization nowadays. All right, so this shows that our industry or our construction industry in Malaysia are moving forward towards the digitalization. Besides the current adoption of the construction of the digital technology, okay, we are also looking into some of the basic challenges and barriers in Malaysian construction organization, whereby we can look into 4 aspects. One, in terms of the competency. Second is on the capacity of the organization. We are looking into the structure of the organization and also the strategy embedded in the organization. So from this table, we can see that most of the challenges is around changing from manual and traditional work method towards a new ways of doing things like robotics using drones, right? And also how the data been managed. Previously, we are using a manual data pad, right, whereby everything on paper. But now we are moving towards cloud computing, right? We are using the e-tendering, we are using the e-procurement, all right? And then we are looking into the digital solutions, especially the adoption of BIM in the construction project. And some of the issues are the rapid changes, all right, of the technology itself, and also some issues are on the government's initiative and government's focus. All right, so those are actually some of the challenges and barriers that the Malaysian construction organization have in order to adapt digitalization. We are also looking into two other aspects, okay, because leadership is involving human, right? So we are looking on their leadership's capability, all right, their strength, their weakness, and also we are looking into the organization itself, where we are focusing on the opportunities. All right, so these are actually the variables that also take into the consideration when we are proposing the framework for our digital leaders. Right, so as I mentioned before, this study is conducted using the deductive approach, whereby we are based on the theory and hypothesis development. All right, we are using mixed method, where we have the quantitative method, okay, the sample from the representative population, and also the qualitative method to validate our framework. And then we have our survey interview, all right, to prove our hypothesis and to validate the hypothesis or the framework. All right, and it contains 5 phases from the preliminary study, whereby we need to synthesize the issue. We need to look into what are the current technology that been used in the industry. All right, what are the digital framework or the current digital leadership framework on the literature. All right, so that is under our preliminary study. And then we continue on our literature review and our instrument development. All right, the instrument development consists of the survey form and also the interview question for validation. And then we started our data collection and data analysis. All right, so the data analysis, we are actually detailing on structural equation modeling on the critical success factors, and from there we develop our proposed framework. All right, and the last is the writing up for the final report. All right, so there are 363 responses for our study, and it comes between several section of respondents, right, based on the management position, professional affiliation, years of experience, and their organization types. And for the framework validation later on, we are having our questionnaire survey to 39 professionals and also 6 interview to the experts.
Right. Excuse me. We have another 3 minutes for you to conclude your presentation.
All right, thank you. So this is our proposed model. All right. So what we can see, our aim is to propose a digital leadership capability, whereby under the digital leadership capability, we are focusing on 3 main aspects. One is the digital technology capability. Second is the leadership capability, whereby we are focusing on the human itself. And the third one is the organization capability, whereby we are focusing on the organization. All right, so these are the variables that we are under study. And this is the final proposed model, whereby from this proposed model, we can what we can suggest is, in order for us to make sure that any leaders equipped with a digital capabilities, they need to be equipped with digital technology. They need to have a very good and relevant leadership style, and also they need to get a very strong support from the organization. All right. So these are actually the model that we need to focus on in order for us to make sure that our future leaders, right, whether we are the CEOs, we are the COOs, or we are the project managers, even if you are a supervisor, then we want to equip them with the digital capabilities. So these are the framework that we are looking at. And to be more focused, so we need to look into the digital technology capability. What are the current technologies that we have in our industry? Okay, in terms of emerging technologies, automation, connectivity, and digital access. All right. From there, we need to also equip them with the leadership capability, the human factors. All right. We need to equip them with the digital literacy. We need to facilitate and coordinate. All right. We need to equip them with a very specific skills, and we need to have a trust and support to them. And also in terms of organization, we need to have a workshop and training for the workers. We need to have the collaboration and partners with other digital partners. All right, we need to be very flexible. All right, we can't follow 100% on the basic rules, so we need to have some flexibility on digital and especially financial resources. And then we need to look into what are the opportunity that we have, all right, in terms of the capacity, all right, and the strategy. And from there, we are hoping that our future leaders can be equipped with a very strong support, strong mindset on digital. All right, so that is actually what we are actually proposing. All right, whereby if we want to make sure that our organization equipped with a digital capabilities, those are the three aspects that we need to focus. All right, so that's all from me on our preliminary study on digital leadership framework. All right, thank you, Doctor.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Syamsul Hendra, for sharing your research experience and present to us and share with us the latest digital leadership framework in Malaysian construction industry context. Right. For the next panelist, we would like to listen from Dr. Igwe Uchenna Sampson. Dr. Igwe is a senior lecturer at Technological University of Dublin in Ireland. Dr. Igwe presentation is entitled "The Role of Building Information Modeling, or BIM, in Sustainable Cost Management." Before that, I would like to present to you the brief biography of Dr. Igwe. Okay, I would like to share with you. Dr. Igwe is a lecturer and researcher at the School of Surveying and Construction Innovation at Technological University Dublin. Prior to his career journey in academia, Dr. Igwe worked in a construction and consultancy firm as a field quantity surveyor and cost control officer in Nigeria. His research output have received international awards and have been published in high-impact international journals. Without further ado, I would like to invite Dr. Uchenna Sampson Igwe. I pass the floor to you, Doctor.
Thank you so much, Dr. Saraju. I really appreciate the opportunity to share with us. I'll just quickly share my screen if you yeah, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, thank you everyone for tuning in, and I really appreciate the organizers of this webinar. and the opportunity to share with us on the topic, the role of building information modeling BIM in sustainable cost management. Just as Dr. Sarajua rightly said, my name is Dr. Uchenna Sampson Igwe, a lecturer in Technological University, Dublin, Ireland, and I'll be making this presentation to us. So for today, I will quickly look at some key things on what to talk about. I will look at BIM and cost management as building information modeling in relation to cost management. And I'll also briefly look at sustainable cost management, what it entails, and then look at the intersection of BIM and sustainability, and then mirror it down to the Irish perspective and what is currently going on in this side of the world in Ireland. So looking at BIM and cost management, we all know, every one of us in this platform should have heard of the word BIM and possibly know what BIM is all about. It is the holistic process of creating and managing information for a built asset. And BIM is a tool that is currently transforming how projects are conceptualized, how projects are being designed, how projects are being executed, and how projects are being managed. So in every phase of construction process, BIM is always there at the moment. So it is a current transformative tool in the construction industry. So in every phase of construction process, there is BIM that is being incorporated to it, right from conceptual stage to designing, to construction, to operation. That is the BIM process also follows the same process. And at every stage of this BIM process, there is cost management functionality, which is also attached in the BIM process. From the conceptual stage or the planning stage, you do feasibility analysis, preliminary cost estimating, and also going down to the design as a quantity surveyor. For those of us that are QS, understand that during the design stage, a QS is always there to do the cost planning, cost checking, produce a detailed estimate, and also do the tender documentation. And all of these are cost management functionalities that quantity surveyors perform, and they are all revolving around the BIM process. And there are various softwares, BIM softwares, that enables us to do these functions as quantity surveyors in the industry, which a good number of us possibly might have used. Some of them, I2COS X, Autodesk Revit, Autodesk Cloud Takeoff, Synchro, Sype, Autodesk Navisworks. There are so many of them currently in the industry. So all of these are softwares. They are all BIM tools that enable cost management in the construction industry. And there are BIM capability functions for cost management. If we understand the BIM maturity levels, you know, the 5D BIM has incorporated cost management into it, whereby we need to actually have a real-time cost estimation with 5D BIM. And another aspect of cost management which BIM is currently enabling is life cycle cost analysis for long-term savings. With the use of BIM, it is easier for us to understand how we can actually oversee the cost of operating a facility after the development. And that will enable us to have a kind of a value engineering on the project to know the possible design options or material options or resource options that can actually add value to the project without posing any form of environmental hazards. And another key BIM capabilities for cost management is reducing rework and material wastage through precise BIM modeling. If you have used some of the softwares I earlier mentioned, you can see some of the BIM models is easier for us to extract exact quantities from them and know exact materials that we need. And that will help us to minimize waste during construction, during management as well. And even during design, it helps us to know exactly how we can manage cost. And another key BIM capabilities for cost management is cost-saving opportunities through energy-saving designs. Because during the design stage, BIM enables us to know which fixtures that we can actually put in the design to help us manage the energy use in the built asset. So having looked at what is BIM and in relation to cost management, it is important for us also to look at what is sustainable cost management. When we talk about sustainable cost management, every one of us is aware that globally, everybody is talking about sustainability, how we can actually preserve our environment to ensure that at least the future generation are not jeopardized in terms of, the environmental hazards or how we do our job. So when we talk about sustainable cost management, we're talking about those practices of optimizing financial resources in a way that balances economic, environmental, and social goals. So the economic, environmental, and social goals are the core pillars upon which sustainable development goals are being built, which every one of us are aware of. So if you remember the sustainable development goals, these goals are being built on these three key pillars. And if we are talking about sustainable cost management, we are making sure that we are preserving our environment in a way that it will be socially, friendly and also economical beneficial, to everyone, in the environment. So when we talk about sustainable cost management, it focuses on achieving cost efficiency without compromising the long-term sustainability of projects, organizations, or ecosystems. And the approach integrates sustainability principles into the traditional cost management practices. And major reason is to ensure that economic objectives align with the broader goals like reducing environmental impact and promoting social equity, like I already said earlier on. So sustainable cost management is not just about minimizing expenses. It's about creating enduring value while respecting ecological and societal limit. The reason I say that is because we can actually try to minimize costs, but in the long run, we may actually jeopardize quality. And if you're a quantity surveyor, and those of us that might have been also working in the industry, there are three key things that you try not to compromise, or you must ensure that you balance it properly. And that is costs, quality, and time for every construction project. So whenever we're talking about sustainable cost management, we look at all these three key pillars to ensure that we are actually saving costs, but we are not compromising the quality standards to ensure that our environment is sustainable. So that is sustainable cost management. Now, how can we mirror BIM and sustainability? BIM is a key tool in the industry at the moment that is driving the sustainability movement in every nation across the globe. And there are key areas that BIM has actually, enhanced sustainability. And all of these areas has cost management functionalities that we need to actually execute in all of them. And that is why BIM is a powerful tool for sustainable cost management. One of those areas is energy efficiency in design. I mentioned this earlier on. During the design stage, we need to ensure that we are having energy efficient designs. In fact, currently, every design, let me talk about Ireland, whenever you are having any design, at least for major public projects, you must incorporate, what we call the EPDs, at least for every manufacturing companies linked to construction industry. There is this information they need to actually declare for their products. And also, you need to also optimize how you actually utilize most of the features that you're putting into your design to ensure that energy is optimized. Another key function that BIM has actually helped us to utilize is to optimize resource management. Circular economy practices is another area, waste reduction, and most importantly, life cycle assessment integration. And life cycle costing is another key area that we are all trying to ensure that we, build properly in the industry at the moment. So BIM acts as a shared data repository that improve communication among stakeholders to ensure alignment with sustainability goals. And one of the key things it does is that it informs clients and all the stakeholders in the industry about the environmental impact of any kind of decision they are taking. The essence is to encourage greener choices. Another key areas that BIM has also intersect with sustainability is operational efficiencies, talking about compliance with green building standards, talking about reduction in carbon footprints in buildings, talking about improved collaborations and decision makings, and also supporting renewable energy integrations. These are the key areas that BIM has actually intercepted with sustainability, and in every of these areas, cost management functionalities has a role to play. So BIM-based digital twins currently, are used to monitor building performances, just trying to look at the operational efficiencies after the delivery of the project. So you can easily see how the operations of the project is being done. In Ireland, there are so many IT companies that are partnering, with industries and government to develop most of these key things. And currently, at least we are using Synchro 4D and some other Bentley softwares in the one I have used to see how we can also monitor a built asset in real time in terms of development. BIM also streamlines certification processes like the BRE, certifications, at least to comply with environmental standards. So looking at BIM adoption in this part of the world, I want to actually delve into Europe as it is. If you look at what we have on the screen, you can see that major countries in Europe have adopted BIM in their major projects, and most government has mandated the use of BIM in their infrastructure projects, like UK, like Finland, like Sweden and France. They already have a BIM mandate that is working. So the implementation of building information modeling is generally being driven by government policies, and Ireland is not left out, as they have started the projection, and from at least from 2013 there has been a trajectory that has always been on a pivotal point, moving forward from the time they adopted the UK series of PAS 1192, and currently it has been transformed to ISO 19650. And this year alone, the Irish government has mandated that every public infrastructure project must utilize BIM, and they have a timeline which they are going to be utilizing BIM. Starting from January this year, 2024, they stated it clear that every project that's above 100 million euros must adopt BIM. And there are key things that must, ensure that BIM is being adopted, which I will highlight shortly. And they have all those key milestones as I have them on the slide. And by December 2027, it is expected that every contractor, every designer is well incorporated into the supply chain and also into the delivery of projects using BIM, building information modeling. So looking at Ireland as it is, there are sustainable cost management practices that is currently being done in Ireland, and that is being enabled through building information modeling. One of those government initiatives or mandate is National BIM Council. The National BIM Council is a government establishment that oversees the adoption of building information modeling in the Irish construction industry. And like I mentioned earlier, the BIM mandate was passed in January 2024. and it has a timeline of its implementation, which is currently ongoing. And by this December, where we are now, it's expected that at least there is a new milestone that we need to actually arrive. And looking at industry collaboration and standards, there is also BIM Innovative Capability Program that is being established to ensure that there is a collaboration between the industry and also the government to ensure that the Irish construction industry is adopting international standards in their construction deliveries. Also, BIM Excellence Initiative is another movement in the industry that also encourages the adoption of BIM and also ensure global incorporation of international standards. Even though this is a global platform, but Ireland is seriously utilizing this, and they are seriously part of what is happening currently in Europe. ISO 19650, like I mentioned earlier, is as an international standard, which though it originated from UK, but Ireland has also adopted the use of that, and they have incorporated it in the BIM mandate. So BIM mandate made it sure that, okay, if you are saying that you are using BIM for your project, that we need to ensure that you are complying with ISO 19650. The same thing with International Construction Management Standard, ISMS, which is a cost reporting tool which every project need to be utilized if you are using BIM. And also the Society of Chartered Surveyors of Ireland recently launched Agreed Rules of Measurement 5th edition that incorporated the ISMS into it, and also incorporated BIM, incorporated sustainability practices into their measurement rules, the standard method of measurement. And also to ensure that BIM is properly utilized and everyone is actually aware of what is happening, there is a BIM education and training that is currently going on, which is being championed by Construction Industry Federation in Ireland, and also Construction IT Alliance, which is a non-profit organization, which I am happily part of it. And we are, training, sharing information on monthly basis, especially on in bringing the small and medium enterprises in Ireland together for them to actually learn the tools of building information modeling and other digital tools that can be used for project delivery. And also in most of the universities in Ireland and colleges, they use BIM tools to teach students, so they get the student industry ready by the time they are graduating. So in Ireland, the approach to cost management combines the advanced technologies, government mandates, and industry collaborations. So these are the key things that we have been able to look at. Just being conscious of time, and that is why I'm a little bit rushing. So I want to use this opportunity to tell every one of us here, when we're talking about construction delivery, we should always think sustainability in our design, in our cost management, in our construction, and in every single aspect of project delivery. So thank you, Dr. Sarajura. So that is my presentation for today. In case there's any question, I'm happy to answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Igwe, for the, I think, a very interesting presentation. And I learned a lot from your presentation, especially the latest development of BIM implementation in European countries. I think this is a new knowledge for us. And then hopefully you can share further if you have any update or latest development in European countries. Right. Thank you very much, Dr. Igwe. We move to our next speaker. Our third panelist today is Professor Engineer Dr. Dewi Larasati from Institute Teknologi Bandung, Indonesia. Professor Dewi, presentation is entitled Driving Sustainability, Green BIM for Green Building Compliance. Before that, I would like to share with you a brief biography of Professor Dewi. I open the biography. Dr. Dewi Larasati is a professor at Instituti Teknologi Bandung, Indonesia. She obtained a PhD in construction project management from Kochi University of Technology, Japan in 2011. Dr. Larasati professional credentials include roles as a licensed procurement expert with the National Public Procurement Agency, LKPP, in Indonesia. She holds various certifications and serves as a contract advisor, procurement advisor, and certified facilitator for advanced procurement skills training. I think without further ado, I would like to invite Professor Dewi to present her research works and also her research findings. Okay, floor for you, Dr. Dewi Larasati.
Thank you, Dr. Sarajul. Thank you very much for inviting me in this webinar. I would like to present our research with the topic is driving sustainability, green beam for the green building compliance, transforming the built environment through technology and sustainability. The presentation consists of some topic. First is introduction to the green building, and then introduction to building information modeling, BIM implementation trend in Indonesia, also green BIM and its benefits, challenges and opportunities in implementing a green BIM, and case study and previous research in implementation of BIM for green building in my research group, and also conclusion. I would like to start from the introduction to green building. Currently, our world is facing rising temperatures, extreme weather events, and also sea level rise and biodiversity loss to the climate change, threatening ecosystem and also human livelihood. And the Paris Agreement combat our global commitment to climate change, that the main goal is to limit global temperature rise to the well below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial level, and also it is very critical to us to ensure sustainability for the future generation. We are running out of time. Immediate and transformative changes are needed across all sectors, including the building and also construction. The building and construction sector accounted for the 36% of final energy use and 39% of energy and process-related carbon dioxide emission in 2018, 11% of which resulted from the manufacturing building materials and also products such as steel, cement, and glass. And also the building contribute to the carbon dioxide emission in operation in 28%, and for the other building material for 10%. So Indonesia has shown strong commitment to achieving the United Nations Sustainability Development Goals by integrating it into the National Development Agenda. Indonesia has incorporated the SDGs into the National Medium Term Development Plan. The 2020-2024 National Medium Term Development Plan explicitly links the national target with the SDGs goals, encouraging green investment and also sustainable business practice, and empowering local communities to participate in this sustainable initiative. Currently, we already have a roadmap for the energy efficient, low carbon building and construction sector in Indonesia 2022. The roadmap include the current condition baseline and the target for the short term 2025 and medium term 2030 and the long term 2050. That consists of the strategies in urban planning and development, new buildings, building retrofit, building operation, system, materials, resilience, and renewable energy. So why the green building are currently mandatory in Indonesia with the ministerial regulation of the Ministry of Public Works and Housing 21 of 2021 established as a standardized assessment framework for the green building performance, which must be followed by new buildings and also significant renovation building. This regulation support the mandatory green building policies by providing clear technical standards to ensure the building are environmentally sustainable. The key components including energy efficiency, and then the water efficiency, water conservation and air quality, sustainable material, and also the building management. We also focus on ICT development, that ICT is considered to support the successful achievement of sustainability target in construction by enabling efficiency resources management, data sharing, and collaborative decision making. The ICT supported energy efficiency in design and construction refer to the integration of information and communication technology to the enhance energy efficiency throughout the life cycle of the buildings, from the design to construction, operation, that include short-term meeting energy efficiency requirement, medium-term life cycle optimized energy efficiency performance, and long-term to the business models driven by energy efficiency. So I would like to move to introduction to building information modeling, that some of my presentation a little bit similar with the previous presentation, that building information modeling is transformative technology that process in the construction industry. It integrates the digital tools to streamline the design, construction, and also maintenance for the building and infrastructure. Building information modeling is transforming the construction industry by enhancing collaboration, reducing costs, and supporting sustainable design. As digital transformation become a priority, BIM is essential for the companies looking to stay competitive in the evolving construction landscape. Its integration with future technologies like AI and IoT will further enhance its impact on building design, construction, and also management. The BIM dimension already explained also by the previous presenter. For the sustainability is in the 6D or 6 dimension of the BIM. Focus on energy analysis and sustainability to optimize environmental performance, but also all of the dimension of the BIM is very important for this sector, the construction industry. The level of detail LOD of BIM refer to the degree of precision and also complexity, including a building information model. LOD specifies the level of information included each element of the BIM, making it easier for the stakeholder to understand what to expect at each stage or phases of the project. For the BIM interoperability is the seamless exchange and use of the BIM data between different software system and stakeholder, ensuring the collaboration and consistency throughout the building lifecycle using open standard like IFC, for example. And for the BIM implementation trend in Indonesia, currently we already have the standard of BIM utilization with the Ministerial Regulation number 2022-2018 that the use of BIM, building information modeling, is mandatory for non-simple state building with criteria exceeding 2,000 meters square in area and more than 2 floors. Government Regulation or PP number 16 of 2021, construction method can be carried out using labor-intensive method, technology-intensive method, like mandatory to use BIM at least up to the 5th dimension, and capital-intensive method, mandatory to use BIM up to the 8th dimension. We also recognize and focus on BIM ISO that already mentioned by Yushin. The ISO is 19650. for the applied for development concept, applied for during the asset delivery, and applied during the operational and also the security approaches in information management. The BIM has been utilized in Indonesia as a construction work method in building the new our new capital in Kalimantan, so-called IKN. State-owned construction company have extensive employed the BIM for the constructing national infrastructure, ranging from the buildings to toll roads. Currently, we have the awareness level of BIM building information modeling usage in Indonesia is relatively high. However, its actually application remains low. For practitioners, BIM offers significant benefit in improving efficiency in construction processes, particularly in terms of time, labor, and cost management. On the other hand, for academic in Indonesia, BIM is primarily valued for its capabilities in modeling. We have 5 factors that cause problem of BIM utilization, like limited access, lack of BIM skill, limited completeness of BIM component and material data, inaccessibility of BIM infrastructure, and the collaboration is still limited. We recommend to enhance BIM utilization in Indonesia, enhance BIM training, proposing government funding to facilitate companies in acquiring necessary BIM software and hardware, and promoting BIM knowledge to the seminars like today. The main goals is to address the identified challenges, fostering efficient BIM utilization in Indonesia construction industry. This is some information about the problem, expectation of the BIM and problem, and how we promote or enhance the BIM utilization in Indonesia. We have a lot of issue and challenges in BIM implementation in Indonesia, both of technical issues and also non-technical issues, like interoperability, BIM maturity level is still low, data management, and also technology. For the non-technical issue, we lack of the BIM training, and then lack of demand, lack of the technology facility, lack of BIM community, and etc. We also try to find the BIM utilization in other countries. We see that a lot of series activities have been conducted in China regarding to broadly develop of BIM utilization, including seminar, design competition, training session, that just effort have significantly improved the development of BIM in construction industry in China. And currently in UK already, nearly 70% of all construction industry professional use BIM in their project, and majority had a high level and awareness. That one study of use of BIM in several countries indicate that critical factor is income levels, that particularly between low income and high income countries, which reveal a significant gap in BIM implementation. For example, in Singapore, BIM, they have a BIM fund program. They launched it in 2012 and update in 2015, that aims to have the design firm to build their BIM collaboration capability, and it's a very successful program. So we also try to find the information about the green BIM. Currently, we have some research in this area, that the green BIM is the integration of sustainable design principle within building information modeling to create environmentally friendly and energy efficient buildings. It leverages BIM tools to analyze energy performance, optimize resources usage, select sustainable material, and minimize the carbon footprint of the construction and operation by incorporating environmental data. Green BIM helps architect, engineers, and also contractor design building that reduce energy and water consumption, enhance occupant comfort, and also ensure the long-term sustainability throughout the building life cycle. This approach supports eco-friendly practice while improving cost efficiency and also aligning with the green building certification. That the green BIM combine the building for performance analysis, building information modeling, and also sustainable design. For the green beam taxonomy, there are three consists of three elements: beam attributes, and then green attributes, and also project phases that beam support life cycle of the green project, and beam also support the analysis of assessment of the green project. That why the beam also supported to achieve the green building. The keyword beam enhanced green building are energy modeling and simulation, material selection and life cycle assessment, waste reduction and efficient resources utilization, improve indoor environmental quality, and enhance the building performance monitoring. The benefit of green building, including beam green optimize energy consumption, minimize waste, conserve water, and enhance indoor environmental quality, contributing to environmental sustainability. Beam also offer the economic advantages through the cost reduction, increase the productivity, improve the project management, and streamline the facility management. And the beam green empowers the construction industry to create more sustainable, efficient, and cost-effective building. We currently we promote, or we try to make some information about the beam workflow to comply the green beam. For example, this embodied energy and carbon emission calculation beam workflow that typically involve the some step. First is a model creation, and then model data integration, and then followed by the energy carbon analysis tools, quantification and summation, and visualization and reporting, and optimization of the resources with visualization. We also make some, or we conduct some research to promote workflow of the beam to comply with the green criteria. For example, the operational energy simulation and solar radiation simulation. The challenge and opportunities in implementing green beam. First, the challenge is the initial investment. Implementing beam requires significant initial investment in software, hardware, and training, and also the data integration. The integrating various data sources such as energy modeling, life cycle assessment, and material database can be complex and time-consuming. We have also skill gap. Lack of skilled professionals with expertise in beam and sustainable design can hinder adoption. And then standardization, the absence of standardization of beam protocols and workflow can lead to inconsistencies and inefficiencies, and cultural resistance. Overcoming resistance to change and adopting new technology within organization can be challenging. The opportunities, of course, we have some of opportunities, including enhance the sustainability. That BIM enables the integration of sustainable design principle from the early stages of the design process, leading to the more environmental friendly buildings, and improve the decision making. Data-driven insight from the BIM models can inform better decision making, reducing risk and optimizing the project outcomes, and increase the efficiency. The BIM streamline collaboration, reduce errors, and minimize rework, leading to increase the productivity and cost saving. Enhance building performance. BIM enables the simulation, optimizing of building performance, resulting in buildings that are more energy efficient, comfort, and resilience. Innovation and future proofing. That BIM foster in innovation by enabling the exploration of new building ideas and technologies, making buildings more adaptable to future needs and climate change. We have some case study, previous research. We made a prototype of low carbon affordable apartment that utilize BIM for energy simulation, that is already recognized by the Ministry of because we collaborate with the Ministry of Public Work and also some universities in Japan and some industry in Japan to to make this prototype, and it's a very successful prototype because of one of the aspect is because of we utilize BIM for the all of the process from since the design to construction and also operation. We calculate some information of green criteria like embodied energy and carbon emission of the buildings, and also the cooling load, lighting load, carbon emission, carbon total carbon and operational energy, and also some lot of detailed information by utilize the BIM for the BIM green compliance. We also try to simulate by utilize BIM for the energy simulation for the PUPR modular housing. This prototype the buildings a standard building of our current low cost apartment that built by the government. So we have a lot of information by utilize the BIM. And for the conclusion, Green BIM emerged as a powerful catalyst for driving sustainability in the built environment. By seamless integrating building information modeling with the sustainable design principle, we can optimize building performance, reduce environmental impact, and enhance overall project efficiency. By embracing the Green BIM, we not only meet regulatory compliance, but also pave the way for more sustainable future that harness the power of technology and sustainability to create buildings that are not just functional, but also environmentally responsible and socially equitable. Thank you for the attention. Give the time to you again, Prof. Sarajo.
Right. Thank you very much. Okay, Dr. Devi, for your knowledge sharing and also the case study in Indonesia with regards to green BIM implementation. I think a new focus of the research in construction project management now, even in Malaysia, in Indonesia, Vietnam. Before, just would like to share with you, okay, before, come for your speaker, Steve. I would like to introduce to you Dr. Anne Lee from New Zealand is our secretariat or our what we call the PROTEM, the head of the PROTEM committee for CIB ASEAN. Okay, CIB ASEAN. Now Dr. Anne Lee in Massey University in New Zealand. Can you introduce yourself, Dr. Anne?
Hi everyone. So I'm sorry I cannot turn on my camera. Yes, thank you for your introduction. I'm currently working as a lecturer in quantity surveying at Massey University in New Zealand, and also a member of CIB membership committee. So really appreciate the opportunity today to meet all of you, and thank you again, the panelists, for your insightful and informative session.
All right. Thank you, Dr. N. CIB is, I think, in France. In France, wording CIB. I'm not sure what is the France name. Is stand for International Council for Research and Innovation in Building and Construction. Okay, in building and construction, one of the what we call a organization, which is a leading organization in the world. And then this next year in 2025, CIB will organize the World Building Congress in Purdue University in Chicago in United States. In Indiana, not here, in Indiana, United States from 19 to 23 May 2025. But apart from that, you can visit the website, which is cibworld.org. You can go through all the activities, program, and etc. And CIB also offer first, I think, a traveling grant for I think undergraduate and postgraduate students, and also they also organize a competition for postgraduate student competition. thesis competition. I think last year the winner is from Australia, if I not forgot, or South Africa. Right. We move to the next agenda, which is a Q&A, question and answer. I would like to invite all the participants, which is I open only three because we are, I think now in Malaysia 18 past 10. And then I would like to invite any participant if you have any question or any inquiries to our panelists. You can type in the chat or you can unmute your speaker. Okay. Please, any question from participant?
Hello, can you hear me better?
Yes, very clear. Yes, very clear. Diana.
Hello. Okay, thank you for all the speakers for the insights. So I would like to ask the question about the BIM because as far I know that the BIM is quite costly. So how does the implementation of BIM in a cost project, and how do we manage it in a cost planning? Like how do we manage the cost, because the BIM itself is quite costly, right, Doctor?
Okay, I think a good question. Can I give this question to the Professor Devi? Can you share your experience with the BIM implementation in Indonesia?
Yeah, actually, we have some problem with this issue currently in Indonesia. The some all of the stakeholder, not only the designer, the construction, the engineer, the management construction company have a very big issue in this cost of the BIM investment. However, we need to start and to to begin the development of BIM in all of the stakeholder in Indonesia. However, the government have a lot of initiative to give, like a, for example, in the contract construction, some of the procurement in Indonesia already mentioned the BIM, and they can give some additional costs for the construction contract for the design and also for the construction and project management, that the company that the join the procurement, they can propose the additional cost for BIM, for BIM, since the BIM already mandatory by the government regulation, need to utilize in the construction process. First, that initiative is very good, because if we have additional cost for the BIM utilization, some of the company can have some opportunities to develop their BIM system. Second, currently the CDE, or the common data environment, provided by the government, because the cost of the CDE is still very high in Indonesia. So or the government, or the government or public owner provide the CDE for the BIM utilization during the building construction. So all of the stakeholder in that project can use or utilize the CDE provided by the government. And the third one is because of if we utilize BIM, we already have some research. Contractor will have opportunity to get more benefit or profit of their project, because the precision of the material delivery of the material, for example, and the time management for the resource management also very precision. So the contractor or the designer have a more profit. So why they would like to utilize BIM? So we need to introduce, to promote, to socialize the benefit and profit of the BIM utilization. So a lot of stakeholders would like to join to utilize the BIM development in their company or their organization. We have a lot of we try a lot of a lot of program of BIM utilization, but leadership commitment is a very very important to us to promote the BIM for the all of Indonesian construction project, especially for the public procurement project. Maybe it's some current condition of how to promote the BIM in Indonesia. Maybe.
All right. Thank you for your sharing, Professor Dr. David. All right. Next question. I would like to invite participant. Do you have any question for our panelists? right.
We have one
Any
question
question?
in the chat box, Dr. Shaban.
In the chat box. Okay. Hang on. Okay. I think Mr. Bin from Vietnam. Okay, Mr. Bin from which country? You are from which country? I heard that in Ireland, LCA, life cycle analysis. Okay. Hello, Mr. Bin. Can you hear me?
Hi, yeah.
Yeah, you're from Vietnam.
Yes, I'm from Vietnam. It's late in Vietnam.
Okay. Okay. You want to read your question, or you?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Please,
in fact,
ask your question.
so through you know the presentation from Ireland, I think that like a LCA is mandated for construction projects. And then for example, for Indonesia and Vietnam, we also have like 2015 goal, where we need to have like a zero emission comparing to the baseline. If we push for LCA like in Ireland, you know, every projects need to quantify emission and so on. How can we like relate that to the general effort to achieve like a net zero? Do you understand like the situation? For example, if we do LCA for one building, we can quantify the CO2 emission from that building. But before we don't have like any baseline.
All right. Okay, thank you, Mr. Bin. All right.
Yeah.
Very quick response from Dr. Igwe. Can you give your response, Dr. Igwe, from island perspective?
Okay, yeah, thank you for the question. Yeah, in Ireland, there is currently life cycle analysis kind of been mandated for projects. And there is also general trainings for industry practitioners on how they can actually ensure that they can at least quantify the carbon footprint of projects. And a good number of us might have heard of one-click LCA. One-click LCA is one of the softwares that you can use. But one of the
Yes.
major problems that we are facing as quantity surveyors is that most of the softwares that we use for quantity takeoff have not incorporated sustainability in their measurement tools. But I2COSX is currently working on something, but to actually do that, you can import your quantity takeoff from I2COSX into one-click LCA so that you can easily see the carbon footprint of all the features of a project, at least right from time. And also there is also this issue of green tendering, whereby you need to also put up all the basic information in terms of sustainability in your tender from the beginning. So in Ireland currently, they are working, generally to ensure that for every construction project, there is a life cycle cost analysis at least being done for that project. Yeah, from your question, how can we actually reduce it, the CO2 footprint, comparing to a baseline? Maybe there are some international standards which have actually given us an ideas of at least how we can actually benchmark our measurements. So if you are embarking on a project and you're going to be acquiring some materials from various companies, one of the key things that Irish government wants you to do is to get their EPD declarations for all their products, so that you can be able to see the carbon contributions of those materials you're procuring for that project, and if it is too high based on standards, then you should go for other options that can actually reduce the carbon emissions in the buildings. So those are the key things that they are actually doing. So most of the standard, the ISO documents like ISO 19686, ISO 20400, even ISO 19650, which has to do with also sustainability of projects. Also, they're all put into consideration, and we are also enshrining that in the BIM mandate at the moment. I don't know if that addressed your question, Mr. Bean.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Igwe. I think I will read the last question from Husna. But I need all panelists to give your answer, your honest answer based on your experience in your country. All right. First, I would like to ask Dr. Syamsul Hendra, what type of barriers you have encountered while implementing BIM in your country? Very quick answer, because we now almost 10:30, okay?
All right,
Half
so
past 10 now in Malaysia. Okay, very quick
okay.
answer. What is
Thank you,
your experience?
Dr. Sarajul. I do believe that the main barrier of implementing BIM is about the cost. All right, so I think that is the major issues. Okay, especially in Malaysia, also we are facing the same problem. All right, so the cost of implementing BIM is very high. We have to accept that. But if we can help the organization, the consulting organization, to understand the benefit, right? Well, we might go for cost benefit analysis. Okay, if we can make them confident that by implementing BIM can help them to enhance their productivity, can save a lot of cost, I think that is the best way of putting in the cost to be lower. And the second one is the barrier is on the incentive, right? Maybe they are lacking of incentive, especially from the government, right? So maybe the government can put more effort on giving the tax incentive, right, for those organizations that are implementing BIM. So maybe they can give us the tax relief on BIM implementation. So that is, I think, could also help in order to go forward into BIM in the later and in the future. Thank you, Doctor.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Samsul. Our second panelist, Dr. Igwe, your opinion. All right, what is the
Yeah.
most challenges? Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. This is one of the key things that I did last year. I carried out a research on the barriers on BIM implementation in Ireland. And from the research I carried out, I had to mirror it with that of UK barriers. And I saw that one of the major barriers that we are currently facing in Ireland is lack of in-house expertise. I can share a link, to that article that you can read through. And another thing is lack of standardized tools and protocols, and also interoperability of softwares from different professionals is another key. Like Dr. Syamsul rightly mentioned, cost is another key barrier that we are also facing, and lack of training. And if you look at globally, quantity surveyors tend to be a little bit behind. Not that they are not part of the system, but they're a little bit behind in terms of adopting BIM for their professional services. And one of the key things that we are currently doing in Ireland is to ensure that we train specifically cost managers to adopt BIM in their professional deliveries. So these are the key, some of the key barriers that we actually. Another key thing that I also mentioned is lack of legal frameworks. Some contractual arrangement has not really enshrined how we can utilize BIM to deliver projects. Like the first question that somebody asked in terms of cost, we need to also enshrine BIM in most of the contract conditions, so that during project delivery, everyone will know how you can actually, deliver your job and probably make claims from utilizing BIM. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, our last third panelist, Dr. Devi. Very quick.
Thank
Can you
you.
share with us what is your most challenges? Okay, the barriers.
Yeah, I think a little bit similar that the barriers of implementing building information modeling in Indonesia. First is lack of awareness of and understanding, low adoption rates in Indonesia, because many stakeholders in construction industry, including developer, architect, contractor, are not fully aware of BIM benefits. We also have a limited knowledge. There is a lack of understanding about how to integrate BIM into existing workflow, and also leading to resistance or hesitation to adopt it. Of course, the cost, the high initial cost, software, hardware, training, investment, it's a very hard to afford. Insufficient skill of workforce, but currently it's become better and better. Resistance to change because of culture barriers and also fear of complexity. BIM perceived complexity deters some professional and companies from the making switch of the current condition. Of course, we have a problem in still have a small problem in regulatory and legal challenge. We have regulation, but how to enforce the regulation is another challenge. Of course, infrastructure and technological constraint, digital infrastructure, software compatibility is still our barriers. And our construction industry is still in a fragmented condition. It's also another problem. Maybe it's some barriers in Indonesia BIM development current condition.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Devi, and all our panelists. With that remarks from all panelists, we have come to the end of the CIB ASEAN webinar series in December 2024. Before that, a very quick announcement for if you are interested in joining CIB, which is a stand for International Council for Research and Innovation in Building and Construction. You can fill in the Google form in the text box, okay, in the message box, and then Dr. N will process your application, especially for researcher. from ASEAN country. We have 10 ASEAN countries in recently, from Malaysia, from Singapore, Brunei, Indonesia. You can join ASEAN CIB, and then Dr. N will process your application. I think, again, thank you so much, everyone, for your active participation and your kind intention, and very what we call active. You ask the question, and I enjoy to moderate this session. And then finally, I would like to wish you all a great success. We would also like, as a Pro-Tem committee, to wish you a Merry Christmas, because next week is the Christmas. We celebrate Christmas, and a Happy New Year. I think with that, thank you so much. Stay safe and healthy.